The Arizona Republican Speaker of the House, Rusty Bowers, just exposed Trump as a complete and total liar under oath. Right before the hearings, Trump released yet another insane statement to try to discredit Bowers, claiming that Bowers told him the election was rigged. But Bowers fact-checked Trump in real time. Watch this.
I wanted to ask you about a statement that former President Trump issued, which I received just prior to the hearing. Have you had a chance to review that statement?
My counsel called from Arizona and read it to me. Yes, sir.
In that statement, I won't read it in its entirety. Former President Trump begins by calling you a rhino, Republican in name only. He then references a conversation in November 2020 in which he claims that you told him that the election was rigged and that he had won Arizona. To quote the former president, during the conversation, he told me the election was rigged and that I won Arizona, unquote. Did you have such a conversation with the president?
I did have a conversation with the president. That certainly isn't it, but there were parts of it that are true, but there are parts that are not, sir.
And the part that I read you, is that false?
Anywhere, anyone, anytime has said that I said the election was rigged, that would not be true.
And when the former president in his statement today claimed that you told him that he won Arizona, is that also false?
That is also false.
Ouch! Sorry, Donnie. Look, if you're so confident in your statement, I'm sure the Jan 6 committee would love to get you under oath as well. Next, Bowers revealed that Rudy Giuliani told him, "We've got lots of theories, but we just don't have the evidence." Play the clip.
At some point, did one of them make a comment that they didn't have evidence, but they had a lot of theories?
That was Mr. Giuliani.
And what exactly did he say and how that come up?
My recollection, he said, "We've got lots of theories, we just don't have the evidence." And I don't know if that was a gaffe or maybe he didn't think through what he said, but both myself and others in my group, the three in my group and my counsel, both remembered that specifically, and afterwards we kind of laughed about it.
Yikes. Then, when Bowers told Trump lawyer John Eastman that decertifying Arizona's electors would violate his oath, Eastman said, "Just do it and let the courts sort it out."
His lawyer, John Eastman, called you some days later on June 4th, 2021. And he did have a very specific ask that would have required you to do just what you had already told the president you wouldn't do, something that would violate your oath. Is that correct?
That's correct. It wasn't just me. I had my counsel and others on the call.
And what did Dr. Eastman want you to do?
That we would, in fact, take a vote to overthrow, or I shouldn't say overthrow, that we would decertify the electors, and that because we had plenary authority to do so. And he cited Article 2, Section 1, I think it's Clause 2, and said that in his opinion that gave us the authority if there was, I don't recall him saying sufficient evidence, but there was some call or some strong reason to do so, that we, or justification to do so, that we could do that. And that he was asking that his suggestion was that we would do it. And I said, again, I took an oath. For me to take that, to do what you do, would be counter to my oath. I don't recall if it was in that conversation, clearly, that we talked more about the oath, but I said, "What would you have me do?" And he said, "Just do it and let the court sort it out." And I said, "You're asking me to do something that's never been done in history, the history of the United States, and I'm going to put my state through that without sufficient proof, and that's going to be good enough with me? That I would put us through that, my state, that I swore to uphold both in Constitution and in law? No, sir." He said, "Well, that's my suggestion would be just do it and let the courts figure it all out. And he didn't use that exact phrase, but that was what his meaning was, and I declined, and I believe that was close to the end of our phone call.
And again, this took place after you had recently spoken with President Trump and told him that you wouldn't do anything illegal for him. Is that right?
It wasn't days after, obviously it was days after, but a few days had gone by.
But you had told President Trump you would not do anything illegal for him.
I did, both times.
In the words of another former White House attorney, Eric Hirschman,
get a great effing criminal defense lawyer. You're going to need it.
Hey, remember to like this video, smash the subscribe button, and hit the bell to turn on notifications. Let's keep growing this unapologetically pro-democracy movement together.